This is a super important breakthrough in psychology. Psychologists need to know this. I recently saw the beginning of an interview of a young woman who was diagnosed with alexithymia and psychopathy, which she didn't really agree with because she was homeless at the time. And I'm a super empath. I have supernatural abilities as an empath. I am paid to do work as in the supernatural world, the emotional world, as a shaman, as like a real life Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I questioned whether I had alexithymia or not because the symptoms are very much the same. So what people are going around calling emotionless, often these are the most sensitive people, but they're using their heads and not their hearts. And I'm having a physical body reaction, being pushed to make this video. And to show the reality of it, usually I put on a beauty filter. I'm 45 years old. So you see how serious I am. I am a master of my craft. I interface with other people and feel their emotions, specifically their repressed emotions, in my own body as a physical sensation, which, through my practice of healing myself and others for so long, I obviously have a very strong, solid sword of discernment from my path. But how it began, I'm just going to read you alexithymia, because you may not know what it is. It's also called emotional blindness, okay? A neuropsychological phenomenon characterized by significant challenges in recognizing, sourcing, and describing one's emotions. It is associated with difficulties in attachments and interpersonal relations. What are signs of alexithymia? Alexithymia symptoms include difficulty identifying and describing one's own emotions, trouble recognizing emotions in others, a lack of imagination and fantasy, and a tendency toward concrete, logical thinking. People with alexithymia may also experience somatic symptoms like headaches or racing hearts without understanding their emotional cause, have difficulty with intimacy, and feel a disconnect from their desires and sense of self. Emotional dysregulation. You may struggle to name or understand your feelings, often simplifying them to good or bad. Now, if you have a child, if you're watching this and you have a child who has difficulty describing their emotions, let them describe it as good or bad. Because you don't want to misprogram your child with the same faults that you have, because they're probably feeling your emotions. If they can't identify and name their own emotions, it's because they're feeling more than their own emotions. If this woman, I only saw like this snippet, the beginning part of her interview, if she was homeless at the time and did something psychopathic for survival, she may have also been possessed, because you take on the energies of your environment, is what's going on with people with alexithymia, and they don't know it. They just feel paralyzed. And it's so much that you're just bound. And so you look emotionless, but it's not what's going on the inside. It's like the brain is trying to figure out what is going on, because there's so much going on. We feel beyond the five senses, beyond the six senses. It's like we're sensing things, and it's trying to pass through the default system in the mind, which is a system, which is not the original operating system of brain-heart coherence. So the bodily sensations, the energy is huge coming up from spirit. So I know to identify this feeling because I know myself, because I'm 45 years old and this is my field and I'm a master. But someone who never has, hasn't been on the healing Eastern shamanic path, has no knowledge really, if anything, beyond Western schooling, it will just look confusing as F. And they'll be like, well, why is my gut doing this? And they'll look and try and think, they'll always seek to place blame or cause when it's not the correct way to think. Like, you basically cannot think through an emotion. And this is why people with alexithymia get stuck. So if you're going to take one thing away from this whole video, people who suffer with so-called alexithymia, just consider that you don't have alexithymia, that you're probably a super empath, and your block is that you're thinking about your emotions or what you're feeling rather than just feeling them. Because emotions are a frequency in the air like music, and some people pick them up in their body and other people don't. So if you're picking them up in your body and other people aren't, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means you're more sensitive. And what people tend to repress is the loudest for me, because I'm a healer and that's what helps heal people. But what is loudest for you may be something else. So self-examination, learning to discern the difference of when you're alone versus when you're around other people or thinking about other people, connecting with trees, connecting with the earth, connecting with nature is going to be super, super important for anybody who has these overwhelming symptoms. You have to learn to be present with your emotions and actually separate your higher self witness, because you're in that witness seat a lot. You're good at that. But you need to separate your emotional body and accept your emotional body. Remember that. You need to accept it. You can't kill your shadow. You need to fully accept, embrace, and nurture that emotional body back to health, to integrate all of your emotional bodies. And when you're in alignment and you know that you're good with your past, you have nothing to hide, nothing to expose, your whole past is resolved, you have nothing to hide within yourself, then you'll have the confidence, you'll have the clarity to know that when you feel things, that you're not feeling you. You're feeling other people and the environment. As I believe people with so-called alexithymia, the super empaths, are really just super sensitive, which means they're super old souls. Everybody labeled as neurodivergent, you're more sensitive. If you're more sensitive, that means you have a larger bandwidth capacity to collect more data and process that data in an embodied way through your body. So while you're walking around with society and Western psychology saying you're broken, basically, I'm saying you're the supercomputer. You're probably a time traveler. Like, you can operate at levels of your mind and body that most people haven't accessed yet. It's just you don't have anybody to show you the ropes. If you want to work with me, I speak metaphor speak quite a lot. I work at the levels of dream language. I interface with you and things are presented. Whatever's blocking you is presented, and I guide you through to resolve it. You can check out the description box on YouTube. With the work I do, it's a full day. Nothing I do is light. I'm not capable of doing light work. See, when I interface, I'm interface. So I'm embodied with you, and your healing becomes my own. Like, I'm a very invested healer in your healing. So yeah, check out the description box on YouTube and just know you have a larger bandwidth frequency capacity. There's nothing wrong with you. You're feeling the wounds of other people that perhaps you came to Earth to clear. Like, maybe you're the next spiritual cleaning lady, like I've been. And it's not your responsibility, but it's your ability.